guide, we will follow.
Hello and welcome to Trinity Talk Live, water cooler conversation from a Christian perspective. I am Ken Coughlin. Thank you for joining us today. This is our second episode in our 2-week series on stewardship, and we're focusing on stewardship here for the month of November. Last week, if you didn't get to watch last week's episode, I encourage you to go back and watch that. Pastor Jay and I sat down and we talked a little bit about the biblical basis from a biblical standpoint. What does stewardship mean? And now we're kind of trying to get a little bit more specific, or maybe practical is a better word for it. And this week, we're going to be talking about specifically how we live that out, and specifically what we do here at Trinity with our stewardship team to try to model good biblical stewardship. So thank you for joining us. And at this point, I'm going to turn things over to our two guests, and one that should look familiar and one that's making her debut with us here today. So ask you to introduce yourself to the audience, tell us who you are, and a little bit of something about yourself.
Okay, I'm Barbara Gordon, and I have been a member here for a little over 20 years. I was volunteered to be a director of stewardship way back when, and even though it was only supposed to be for 2-year terms, somehow something always happened that it was 12 years nonstop. And I finally took a little bit of a break, and then Adrian said, I think you need to come back. And so I did.
They were just hiding the 1 before the 2. And so the 2-year term, they had the finger over the 1, so you couldn't see that for the 12.
But I'll tell you, I have enjoyed every minute of it, because I watched us go from a dream and having a food closet in the little lobby that goes into the office to maybe having it moved up into where the music room is now. And then the dream always was to have a building, and we actually have a building.
We do. It's a great facility.
And we're getting a freezer unit eventually, and maybe a cooling room too. So it just keeps growing, and the ministry is growing tremendously. It's
Well, don't get ahead of yourself too much.
I'm okay.
Yeah, we'll get to. And this gentleman down here, who's this stranger?
I am Pastor Jay.
That's all we got.
That's all we need. No,
Nothing else needs to be
happy
said.
to be back. Thank you very much for having me again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
And also, I should mention that Adrian Cox, you mentioned Adrian, he's the other
Co-director
of our stewardship team. He wasn't able to be with us here today to film this, the day we're filming this, but he did want to participate, and so we'll be interjecting some things. I did have the opportunity to ask him a few questions. He came in ahead of time to film his portion, and so we're going to cut away a little bit here and there throughout the episode as we get some of Adrian's thoughts as well. First of all, thank you for making special arrangements to get here to be a part of this. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you doing it.
Why don't you, for starters, just tell everybody who you are and what your role is here with the stewardship team at Trinity.
I'm Adrian Cox. I'm co-director of the stewardship team with Barbara Gordon. We're blessed to have a dedicated team of Christians who work hard every day without a lot of recognition or reward, and serve this church and Jesus.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about living out biblical stewardship. Hey, I just came up with a title. That's pretty cool.
Hey, there you go.
Sometimes just
You
spirit.
have the caption.
Spirit. You can tell when the Spirit's moving me, as opposed to Pastor J. I won't mention it.
Yeah.
There was an episode. We'll just say there was an episode. We'll leave it at that. So let's start. You actually kind of started talking a little bit about like the food closet and everything. Now, people when they hear the word stewardship, they tend to think money. That's all it is. If you had to kind of describe generally what the stewardship team here, how you envision the stewardship team here at Trinity and what they do, would you say it's just money?
Oh, absolutely not. I know that we need to have giving, because we have a beautiful facility, and we need to be able to have the lights on and the heat on, and have a welcoming place for people to come to, and that takes money. But we also do a lot, I think, for our community. And we want to make this a place where people come and understand that it's not about what you're putting in the offering plate. As far as money goes, you need to put your heart in there. You need to be working for God and just having this love for your fellow human being. And if that's accomplished by being able to feed people, being able to go up to the homeless shelter and help. One of the biggest things that Adrian and I really wish people would take advantage of is the blood drives. Because when you think, if you're in a car accident and you're really, really hurt badly, and you go to the emergency room and you know, they are able to fix you, it can take 50 pints of blood for one person injured in a car accident. And when we have our blood drives, I mean, we had them that sometimes there weren't even 10 people that would come. Now we're averaging about 20, but that's huge. And it doesn't hurt. They've made the needles really little. You know, nobody likes to get stuck.
It still hurts.
But the fact of the matter is, that's something everybody can do. If they're healthy, they can do that. And it doesn't take more than a half hour of your time.
As a matter of fact, what I want to do real quick, I want to cut away for just a moment because we made a video that we showed here in church. Well, by the time this is airing, it'll be two weekends ago, to kind of give an introduction to some of the things that our stewardship team does. And I want to give credit where credit is due. Barbara wrote it. It's her brainchild. So let's take a quick moment, and we're going to go ahead and show that video to kind of start off people giving a general overview of what we do here at Trinity.
Hi folks, thanks for joining Trinity's $100,000 Pyramid. Let's meet our contestants for today. Today we have Stephanie and Sarah. Stephanie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I am so excited to be here. I've been an active member of Trinity Lutheran Church for 30 years, and I've always served on the Stewardship Board, and I'm excited to be here to play this game today.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy playing. Now Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm excited to be here too. I watch the show all the time and I can't wait to play. I've been a member of Trinity for 7 years and I volunteer at the video ministry.
Now that we met our contestants, let's see what our first subject will be. The first subject is going to be what the Stewardship Board oversees. Who is giving the clues?
I will.
Great. You have 60 seconds to come up with 6 activities the Stewardship Board oversees. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Ready.
ready.
Please put 60 seconds on the clock. And ready, set, go.
Nowhere to go?
Lost, aimless, bored.
No protection, cave, tent? Nowhere to lay your head?
Destitute, homeless.
Yes, yes, yes.
Homeless?
Yes, roof, protection, Beatles song, give me a blank.
Shelter, homeless shelter.
Correct. Keep going.
Meat and potatoes,
Dinners, meals, groceries, shopping,
no canned goods, staples, donation.
food pantry, food building, food closet.
That's right. You have 40 seconds left.
Not ordinary. Blank, dark, chocolate.
Oh, special.
Yes.
Putting something in something, closing it, sealing it. Envelope.
Yes, yes, yes. A special envelope. Giving, blank begins at home.
Charity? Special envelope charities.
Well done. That was a difficult one. 30 seconds left.
Travel, guest, helping build something.
Trip, airplane, construction. What?
Going there, helping, building, fixing.
Going away, going somewhere, construction, building.
Hurricane damage, rebuilding, having a purpose.
Oh, I know, having a purpose. Mission trip.
Fantastic. You're doing great. 20 seconds.
Santa Claus, woven containers, wrapping paper.
Oh, Christmas.
Yes, what is Christmas? We get days off of these.
Holidays.
Yes. Presents, wrapping, bows.
Gifts, holiday gifts, charity.
Holiday gifts. Yes, yes, yes.
Third word,
Woven containers made out of rope and grass woven into shapes. Lots of different sizes, and it's what kids use to put the eggs in.
Oh, baskets, holiday gift baskets. Yes.
10 seconds left. Last clue.
School starting, holidays in the summer.
4th of July, fireworks, school vacation.
Start over. Holidays we just mentioned before.
Christmas?
Yes, 4th of
July, Christmas, July. Oh, the backpack and the food collection for back to school, Christmas in July.
Time's up. You did it. You got all 6 in 60 seconds. You get to move on to the next round. I bet you thought all the stewardship board was about giving money. But we all know biblical stewardship is giving of our time, talents, and money. It's taking care of neighbors, our neighborhood, keeping the lights on in the building so we can worship together. Let's recap. The subject today was things the stewardship board coordinates. The first activity they oversee is the homeless shelter. Trinity volunteers cook dinner, make lunches once a month at Harford Homeless Shelter in Belcamp. They also volunteer to socialize with the residents once a month. The second activity was the food closet. We get donations from members, Maryland Food Bank, the state of Maryland, and get various grants to help maintain an inventory to give out to those in need and visit our food building. The third activity is special envelopes that are in our monthly envelopes box. Each month there is a special envelope for donations to a charity chosen by our congregation. Fourth is our mission trip team. There are youth, adult, and international mission trips that are done at least once a year. Our adults went to Mississippi again this past September, and our Guatemala team will be heading to El Jute in January. The last two were our food and gift baskets for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and Christmas in July. We collect school supplies, fill backpacks, distribute them along with a food basket to people in need. We have a list made from social services, as well as names our members give us. Well, we are just about out of time for today, so join us tomorrow. We find out which team makes it to the $100,000 round. Thanks for watching.
Wow, that was exciting. It's a lot harder than it looks by watching a TV show.
Sure is. I can't wait to see how the other team does. I bet they won't top us, though.
Of course not.
That was probably the most original idea anybody's come up with when they've asked for a promo video.
It was
for us to make.
fantastic. It was great. It really was great. Yes.
What are some of the things that fall under the stewardship team? Some of the activities we do here?
Well, it ranges from food closet, which is very active, to food basket delivery ministry, blood drive, which I personally involved in, Dracula type. We do mission trips. We encourage people to give their energies and sacrifice in blessings back to God.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of things you mentioned, I think a lot of people think of stewardship as just a stewardship team is we're the ones that come and beg for money, which you do, but but not exclusively money. A lot of what you're talking about there is other kind of stuff, time, talents, whatever.
Well, I've been blessed over, I guess, 45 years almost to witness firsthand. We build new houses in Mississippi. We rehab totally destroyed houses. But after the work is done by our talented team, I've seen them reach into their own pocket and sacrifice their funds to help the people there in need. I see people bring food closet benefits every week and come and pack those bags. So there's an opportunity to give of energy and talent, and I've been able to see that over the years. I've also seen people at the end of their careers or end of their life dedicate significant amounts of funds to this congregation as appreciation for a lifelong relationship with Christ, and that just is awesome to me. The people, we are amazed when we see people come out. We don't know it's coming. It just comes as an answer to prayer and support the congregation. Speaking to people here who are at Trinity, all right, Trinity members who might be watching, who have this mindset of stewardship is, well, you want me to be on the stewardship team, you want me to come and count money. That's what you're looking for me to do. What would you say to encourage them to come out and get involved in some of these stewardship activities? Ask some questions and determine what it is you would like to try. We have unlimited opportunities. We need help at the homeless shelter. We need help at the food closet. I need help at the blood drives. There's a place for you to learn and work and find out what's comfortable and good for you to offer a way of service. So, Pastor Day, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
All right, so we've seen some of what we do here, and I can see the reaction, again, especially people who think of stewardship as money, money, money. They say, well, wait a minute, how is some of that stuff stewardship? Like even before we watched the video, she mentioned the blood drive.
Right.
How does that tie into stewardship?
Well, I mean, part of that, as you understand, you'll probably heard from last week, is I'm on a personal mission to reclaim the word stewardship, to take it just from money. Thank you. Keep it, because I talk with my hands.
Make sure you didn't hit the
So,
mic.
I'm not getting fresh with the pastor, honestly.
Stewardship, again, as we kind of talked about last week, is simply using everything that we have that's been given to us by God for God's glory. And so we all have different gifts. We all have different ways we can do things, help out, whether it's food closets and volunteer, all those kind of things. All of this is the sacrificial piece that we talk about, the giving of our time and of our finances. Again, I'm not a big proponent of the whole time, talent, and treasure thing that we've gone on for years. But again, I understand the piece behind that because it is an offering a living sacrifice, as we hear in Romans. So that's the part that we do want to lift up from that standpoint, is everything that we do that helps others in the community and shows forth Christ, brings God, into the front and foremost for his glory. That's what we do for stewardship. So yes, I mean, it is the very biblical pieces that, go feed the hungry, clothe the naked, all those that, Jesus said do. So those are obviously where a lot of these missions are wrapped around, those particular pieces, but it can be anything that shows forth God's glory with any of the gifts that we have that we've been given to us, because we've all been given certain gifts.
I don't think you were on this episode. It was one of the previous episodes. I can't remember if it was one of the evangelism ones or the discipleship ones, where we talked about, we're trying to focus on what this team does. And really what we started to observe is there's a lot of overlap here, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
so things might fall under stewardship, but there also might be a discipleship component to them.
Correct.
There might be evangelism component to them. So, Barbara, let me give you a chance here. I know we talked a little before we went on the air as far as, you wanted to talk to people about, volunteer opportunities with the stewardship team. So if you've got somebody out there that's, looking for a way to serve, I mean, what would they be able to expect? Should they expect if they wanted to come and help out with the stewardship team?
Well, it depends on what it is they want to do, because there's opportunities in everything. We need someone to just go to the homeless shelter once a month, and they can help cook a meal, pack a lunch. They can sit down, play cards maybe with some of the people, just talk, keep them company, socialize a little bit. If you're into groceries and organizing things, we can always use help in the food closet, because you have to rotate the stock and you have to make sure you have stuff in there. And then there's people that go and shop, because we do get monetary contributions, and the money is used to go out and fill up whatever we don't have as donations. There's also, we definitely need a blood drive coordinator, somebody, and it's not a big job, it's 4 times a year. You make a couple phone calls and that's kind of it. So we have a place for anybody that wants to do anything. We can fit them in.
Let's say there's somebody out there who is watching us from, well, I'll just pick Ohio. I don't know why. And they're having maybe difficulty getting people to volunteer for their stewardship drive or their stewardship team, or they might even have teams per se. What advice can you give them as far as, like you said, Pastor Jay, maybe reclaiming stewardship to try to create an atmosphere of exciting biblical stewardship? This is not a bad word. This is an exciting thing in their church.
Right. Well, in most cases, you have to understand that they're pastoral driven, and that sometimes falls on the pastors as it would. And so you got to have a pastor that's passionate, able to go out and do exactly what we're talking about and modeling it, because I'm also a very big believer in modeling what it is. If you want discipleship to grow, you have to be able to model discipleship, what that looks like. If you want your stewardship, holistic stewardship, again, the money pieces, you have to be able to lead by example and, lift up those stories of faith, lift up those examples that did, and create a culture around what living a biblical stewardship approach looks like. The thing we don't do enough of is brag. Humbly brag. Again, that's one of those things, but because we aren't about ourselves, but to put those stories of faith in front of people, to let them see that good is out there and we are doing good. People have to be able to see. We are still, believe it or not, just like Thomas, we are a see first, a seeing is believing kind of people. So they have to see the results of this before they give money, before they give their time. They have to feel like it's worth their time. And that's kind of where we're at. So if you can't model it, they're not going to see it. And B, if you can't, show and lift up those stories of faith for folks to kind of get excited about, you're going to have the same thing we've been going through. So that's again, just a little snippet of it. But I don't know if you experience anything along those lines when you're trying to recruit folks for stewardship as well. Or
I think one of the things that I've noticed since you got here, there's a lot more openness, I feel. I feel like we're at a doorway where there's just so much opportunity and it's opening up, and I really hope that it's just not me and my team thinking this and the other teams. I just really feel invigorated. And I think if we can all feel that way and we can, share it with other people, we have nowhere to go but up. Really, truly.
And I'll just say that if you're we're in Joppa, Maryland. If you're anywhere in this vicinity, hopefully maybe you can get a feel from some of the latest episodes, and especially this one, that there's something going on here at Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God's
Definitely.
moving.
Yep.
And so if you're looking for a church, 1100 Philadelphia Boulevard, Joppa, Maryland. We have services Saturday at 5:07, Sunday at 9:27, and Sunday at 11 o'clock. Come join us. There's God's moving here, and we are excited to see where God's going to go. Get on board or get on board. Another inside joke.
Watch the Reformation Day 11 o'clock service. You'll understand what that is. But it's good.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff.
Anything that you haven't mentioned that you wanted to mention here? Any other last sales pitch?
Well, I thank all those who work. The old saying about the small percentage does the majority of the work has a lot of truth to it, and I would encourage everyone to consider where they can help and decide what times are available, and we'll find a place to put you to work successfully.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming by. So, Barbara, if people want to get involved, if they do want to get on board and help out with the stewardship team, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can email me. It's really hard. Barbara Gorton at hotmail.com. They can call the church. Barbara Gorton at hotmail.com. Talking about hotties, see?
Well,
Something else off camera.
I have the Gorton Fisherman song in my head now, too.
Oh, no.
Just Gorton.
I'm not going to say that my wife and I had that same conversation on the way to church this
Correct.
morning, but
Absolutely.
it's quite possible.
All right.
All right.
But live your stewardship. Live stewardship. That's all. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a program. How's
That's
that?
for sure.
It's spirit moves in stewardship.
Right.
I mean, I think sometimes certain ministries get maybe a bad rap as far as, we don't feel that's not a whole spirit driven. Yeah, it is. And it can be really exciting.
Absolutely.
And a lot of things you mentioned, I know we're dragging on longer than I wanted to, but a lot of things you mentioned here, I love, like whether it be the food closet, especially, and certain things, the homeless shelter. Those are, I'm sure there's a fancy word for it, but I don't know what it is, but where you actually get personal interaction and you get to see face to face the people you're helping, and there's just something.
It connects us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Almost like our mission statement.
Almost. Well, and what's our mission statement there?
Connecting to God and connecting to each other.
There you go. All
So
right.
that's
great,
how we do it.
That's a great note to end on.
Absolutely.
I think. So thank you guys very much. And thank you for watching. If you did like this episode, do me a favor, click the like button. That's the thumbs up button right here on the YouTube page. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel and share this video so others can learn a little bit about what we got going on here at Trinity. Also, we do have a Facebook page here for the Trinity Joppa. The church has its Facebook page. So does the channel itself. Trinity Joppa channel is the name of our Facebook page, where we post updates about what we got coming up on future episodes, and we have some behind the scenes things there too. And we take feedback. If you have any ideas for future episodes, that's a good place to share them, or you can comment on this video. That would work as well on the YouTube page. So next week, there is no episode next week. I've been encouraged by my pastoral boss to not overdo it. And next week is Thanksgiving week, so I'm not overdoing it. We are going to, on our social media accounts, we're going to kind of republicize an episode that we shot last year, that we aired last year, about having an attitude of gratitude. So if you missed that last year, it is timely, so we're going to kind of promote that again. But we're not filming. There's no new episode next week. We will be back in 2 weeks with Pastor Jay again all month. This is the Pastor Jay month, we're going to call it. And he and I are going to be talking about 21st century discipleship. And we'll you want to know what we're talking about there, come back in 2 weeks. So
Very good.
thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Jay, again. It was a lot of fun. And thank you all for watching. See you in 2 weeks. God bless.
In your word we will follow.
Hey, if you haven't joined our Patreon yet, would you mind giving it your prayerful consideration? Patreon is a way you can support the Trinity Joppa YouTube channel. We've got multiple tiers to choose from, starting as low as $2 per month. Visit www.patreon.com/TrinityJoppa for all the details. Thank you. God bless.